I mean, how can you not be in a good mood?
I mean, I can give you a couple reasons.
All right.
Some of y'all want, but listen. Let me clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat. So good. It's so good.
So good.
Oh my god, it's so good. I'm just making sure all my other internets are switched on in the right. So like the reason why I didn't jump, the reason why I was almost like I was like on the verge of, I was late in terms of, is because my kids were playing Fortnite on my computer, and I turn on my computer and I don't know how to get out of the game. You know what Fortnite is?
Yeah, your kids are playing a video game at 7:30?
No, yesterday.
Oh.
So I turn on my computer, and they didn't like turn off the last like yesterday around like 4:00. They were using my computer, and so I hadn't used it since. And then I opened it up this morning. It's still in the game, and I don't know how to get out of the game.
Escape?
Like, is there an off? Is there an escape? No, escape didn't work. You know, Fortnite is like this, is like all the rage with the kids now. You know what Fortnite is?
Well, I did text Josh the other day to ask him what video games he plays because my team leaders wanted to know, and he didn't text me back.
Yeah, you know, I was actually, honestly, last night when I was putting my kid to bed, I'm like, it just popped in my head. I'm like, what games does Josh play?
Yeah, it's not that we want to go be friends with him on the game.
No. Well, no, it's not like I would find out and then download World of Warcraft and like friend him or anything. It's
like
not
in our spare time.
Yeah, it's not like I would like, friend him on those games. He probably plays like Call of Duty or something. That's like the big one that all the guys play where they put the headphones on and they're like, it's not like, Josh, if you're watching, it's not like I would go friend you on Call of Duty or anything.
I mean, I've driven by his house, but that's not creepy.
It's not like I would go drive by his house and peek in his living room and see what he's playing and then go friend him on it.
Okay, Nick, guess what?
What?
I rode my little convertible again today because it's going to be 76.
I saw your cute little convertible that you've shown me pictures before.
I drove it to work today. That's why my hair is a little wackadoodle, but it's 76 today.
Oh, you drove it to work?
Yeah.
We finally got Anne's Corvair back from the shop.
From when it was going to catch on fire?
No, that's not what happened. Remember I told you that we were driving and like the hubcap came off and there was like something with the rear axle. I don't know. But we finally got it back because apparently, they just can't order parts from 1964.
I know. I told my mechanic, who's so good, but I told him, should we just order the clutch now? Like, should we just order it now? Because it's going to take forever when I need a new one. Because it's a stick. And then I was driving to go get my coffee today, which I couldn't do a drive-through because I went a different way. And there was like these 6 guys, and here I am pulling up, and it's a stick, and it's kind of loud, and it rumbles a little bit. And they're like, nice car. I'm like, thanks.
You're supposed to like, give a wave to people in other classic cars. Like in Michigan, there's lots of classic cars, right? And you're supposed to do like, like.
Well, we do, you do that when people need to know this too, like I should do like country rules, like living in the country. So when you're passing someone in a truck or in a car on a country road, do you know when your hand's like this on the steering wheel? Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
This is what you do, everybody, just so you know. On the steering wheel. So this is right. Just acknowledge everybody passing.
How you doing? Hi. How you doing? Good.
How you doing? Yeah.
So what did you do over the weekend?
Friday night I went to Chinese foot massage. Greatest value in the world. It sounds worse than it is. And then Saturday I hung out with my mom.
I regret asking you what you did over the weekend.
Well, it's a lot calmer than it used to be. Let me tell you something, friend. And then
you got a Chinese foot massage. Can you tell me what a Chinese foot massage feels like?
Well, it's like they say foot massage because they don't have to be licensed, but it's like a full body massage. But you're clothed and stuff.
Oh yeah, I like to not be. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I know.
By the way, I need to get a massage. Like I need a full on. It's been God, what's it been? Probably like 8 months, 9 months.
Yeah, no, it is important. And then yesterday I ran a lot of errands, got a lot of stuff done in my little car because it was sunny. And so everybody's been in a really good mood all weekend because the weather was extraordinary. So, and I watched The Queen's Gambit.
Oh, I saw. So everyone's posting about The Queen's Gambit. It looks so boring, but what's
my God, you would love it. And Anne, obviously, she's such a high intellect. She would love it too. So
are you saying that I'm not high in
no, don't read
not
it.
High, that I'm not in a that I'm not I can't even say it.
That is true. You can't.
So tell me what it's about.
It's about this girl named Beth, and she's an orphan, and then she becomes a chess champion. And it's you know what it is? It's the acting, it's the writing, it's the producing. Like all of it is so high quality. It's sick. And even one of my dear friends from grade school posted. She goes, "Okay, I was up till 1 o'clock watching it because I passed it up all the time. So
yeah, I'm looking at it like,
totally, I mean, extraordinary, just in every way. I wish she could win an Oscar for a Netflix series because she's earned it.
Well, she'll win an Emmy.
I know, but it's not the same.
Who's the girl in it?
Would you rather win a Tony, an Emmy, or an Oscar?
Well, you have to win. You have to win an Oscar. You got to be in a movie.
I know, but I wish she could
to win an Emmy or in a TV show.
Like an Oscar.
Wait, first of all, you can't say would you rather win a Tony, an Emmy, or not. Winning a Tony is the highest honor for Broadway.
I know what it is.
It's like, imagine this: you get up on stage, you're like, here's the award. It's like a little space guy. I got it. Ready? And the Tony goes to Nick Baldwin. Oh, thank you so much. I really wish this was an Oscar, but I guess since I didn't make a movie, I'll take the Tony Award instead.
Okay,
well,
so
you know what? I'm just saying. Oh, thank you for the Emmy. Too bad it's not an Oscar. I guess I should make a movie if I want that. I don't know. Come on, it's a little funny. No, I'm just teasing you. So, the girl in it, I forget her name. She looks super familiar.
Yeah, she's amazing. Okay, you know
wait, hold on. I watched a really good movie. We have 1 minute till we bring it. I watched a really good movie last night. It just came out on Netflix. Well, they just put it on Netflix. It was in the theaters. It's the Snowden, the Edward Snowden movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, directed by Oliver Stone. I really liked it. It's on Netflix now if you want to watch it.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. Tonight I'm getting my hair done, and then tomorrow I'm hoping to get it because I think we're going to go back in a shutdown. So I'm trying to get all my beauty in. So tomorrow I'm trying to get my BOTOX girl. It spells Botox to get me because I think we're going to go back in a shutdown, and I'm like literally fearful.
Well, schools have completely closed in my county. They're back to distance learning.
So I'm stalking Margot at Dermatique in Geneva. So
me too. I'm stalking her too. I'm going to get my Botox.
I'm like, fill her up. We're going in a shutdown.
I'm starting to get wrinkles up here.
You should. I mean, Joel has mean face. You know, he has angry man face. So I want Joel to get it, but he won't. He might.
Good. I don't have many wrinkles.
No, you really don't. You have a very smooth head.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's bring in our guest. She doesn't need Botox. She's gorgeous.
She needs an intro.
Intro
music.
Carly. Oh, again.
Let me clear my throat. Okay, there, I do it for her.
Everybody here.
Here we go now.
Here we go now. Check it out.
Here we go now.
All right.
I just sent Carly a friend request last night because once again, Caryn doesn't tell me who she's bringing on the show.
I know. I like to keep it in suspense. Carly, tell us about you.
Well, I'm one of your biggest fans, so that's the most important thing.
Thank you so much.
Right. You two. We just became friends, so I've got to get to know you. Mm-hmm. So I have been with Keller Williams a little over 3 years, and was a team leader up until about a month ago.
You two have that in common.
Yeah, and then I
used to be team leaders.
Yeah. We're a special kind of
former.
We actually realized how insane what we were doing was completely insane. Caryn's 10 years in, she hasn't realized it yet.
Yeah. I know, it's amazing how long she's been team leader.
Well, everybody knows I'm crazy.
And then I just went back into production. We actually relocated from Palm Beach area in Florida back up to Southeast Georgia. So I get that whole like raise your hand, say hi, because I'm having to get back into my Southern ways, because in Palm Beach County, if you do that, people think you're doing something else.
You're going to shoot them. No, I'm just kidding. That's Chicago. I'm just kidding. I live in Chicago.
Yeah. So right now I'm in the process of building my business and getting reintegrated to the Southeast. I've been gone for about 3 years. So
you're a TL in Florida?
Yes. So
where are you from originally? Georgia?
North Carolina, Eastern
North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah. So you can still hear a little bit of that North Carolina accent, but it's kind of all mixed up right now.
I don't know that I could tell the difference of a Georgia versus North Carolina accent.
Yeah, I don't think I could either.
I mean, you know who has the most varied accents is the state of Ohio. The Cleveland people sound like Chicago. The Erie people sound like New Yorkers. The middle is just normal, like Colorado, Midwest. And the southern tip of Ohio sounds like the South. It's Kentucky. It is the greatest variation in accent. It's great. Dialects, I guess, would be a better word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, so my husband is retired military, and so we've lived all over the country. And so there's been times where my accent has been extremely strong, like when I lived in Mobile, Alabama. And then when I lived in LA for 4 years, it kind of went away. So, yeah.
We like to call that
for 4 years too. Mm-hmm. Where did you live in LA?
We lived in Rancho Palos Verdes, right by Redondo Beach.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a pretty area. One of my best friends lives in Redondo. It's pretty gorgeous there.
Yeah. I just traveled out there for my girlfriend's 40th birthday, and we went up to San Ynez for wine. Oh,
yeah. Near Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I totally want to live there. Me and Oprah.
Oh, yeah. The house we stayed at.
Carly.
Yeah, the house we stayed at was like unbelievable. Every morning I'd walk out because I was up before everybody else and just go, I don't know if this is like outside of my my realm, this house, but it's okay.
I live in the beautiful city of Rancho Cuca, Burbank. Yeah, Rancho Palace, Burbank. So anyway, Carly, so tell us your experience as being, I want to talk to Carly. I don't know her, so I have a million questions. You already know her. So I'm just going to ask her a million. What's your favorite color? No. So what you said you had been with KW for 3 years. Did you start out as a team leader or were you an agent first?
Yeah, it was kind of a funny transition into leadership. So I was a top agent with Berkshire Hathaway in Georgia, and then relocated down to Tampa actually initially because my husband had a job transfer, and I transferred with that same franchise and realized it just was not the culture I was looking for. You know, we're really warm and fuzzy and like to hug in Southeast Georgia, and that just wasn't how it was in Tampa. So I was introduced to Kimberly Horn, if you guys know her.
Yeah, she coaches one of my team leaders.
She's one of my dearest friends now. And so she was the TL, and I was just looking for somewhere to hang my license and start doing business. And she looked at my track record and she said, have you ever thought about leadership? And I'm like, I don't know. Tell me more. And so I had no idea what I was getting into. So I became her ATL and just dove into it. So I got to work with amazing people like my first year and a half. Nikki Ubaldini was my OP. Jessica, Wimmer Fox was one of our other team leaders. And so I just was like on fast track KW knowledge. And so I did that for a year and a half. And then I got the opportunity to become a team leader of my own market center in Boynton Beach. So that was how I made the transition over to work for Jackie Ellis. So another big name in KW.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you got to surround yourself with pretty awesome people right off the bat.
Yeah. My first day on the job, I always joke, something happened and Kimberly couldn't travel with me. I think maybe one of her little ones got sick. My first day on the job was Market Center Financials.
No.
Yeah.
Easy stuff.
Yeah. So not only did I not know one of the acronyms, right, and there's like 4,000, I'm learning all these different financial models on things I have no idea what they are. So it was pretty fun.
I mean, that wasn't my first day, but when I became a team leader, I went to family reunion before I'd started because my first official start date was March 1st. Mm-hmm. And I went to family reunion. I didn't know anybody. Like the team leader, his nickname was Grumpy. I was coming in as ATM. Oh. Yeah, it was perfect. He was a great fit for the role. And I literally knew nobody. And I went around, I'm like, hi. No one.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. When I became team leader I moved from New Jersey to Michigan to be a team leader. I didn't know anybody. And literally like a week into being a team leader, they're like, hey, we're doing gold. So can you just get all these agents in your market center that don't know you to pay $900 to sign up for it? Oh yeah, you can build the trust later. But it's like, oh my gosh, you just throw that stuff in.
Well, you have to. That's the only way to learn is by immersion. Okay, so then you leave and you go back home, and you're in Georgia where you all wanted to be. And then how are you getting started in your real estate business?
So I feel like, and I think you and I have talked about this before, I feel like I got like a mini MBA in building a business. So many things I didn't know before. So now, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. I taught a lot of my top agents how to build a team, or, had them join and be able to revise their teams. And so now that's what I'm doing. So it's a little different when you have to put that hat on, right? I was so excited. I ran my first Facebook ads as an agent for a luxury listing I got. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with all these leads. Like, I got to go in and put them on. Where's Nick's videos? Like, I got to go in and put them on a smart plan. Yeah. So that's really what I'm doing. And I'm trying to take it slow, but my nature is to just go 150 miles an hour. And my market center here is kind of a baby market center. They just started about 2 years ago. So they're in growth mode. So I'm trying to help them with that too. But yeah, I'm just trying to go back to the models myself. Like I'm teaching a business planning clinic tomorrow, and I'm doing it more for myself, like to get myself back in the mindset. But yeah, I'm having fun. I mean, getting to use all this technology from an agent perspective. Yeah. I mean, I've been teaching it, but to actually get in there and play with it and use it is fun. Do you guys think so? Yeah.
Oh, obviously, Nick is one of the biggest champions of it ever. I mean, and we have Nick as an independent contractor inside my group. So he works with us every week, which is awesome. And I just had an OP say to me the other, Scott Taylor, North Carolina, he goes, this Command MC, oh my God, is amazing. And like, where it was going, where it is. And it's so fun to see people when it clicks, right? And they're like, I totally get why they did it this way. Or I totally understand why it happened this way. And it's so easy to use because I was like a top producer user. Remember top producer? Mm-hmm. Or like these.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm like tags. Amazing. I can say
about top producer. So like a lot of big, huge mega teams still use it. Because
it's really, I know, but there's 83 steps to get anything done to me.
Well, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's almost, this is what I've noticed, and you guys let me know what you think. A lot of them are using top producer. They're used to it. They've been using it for 20 years, right? And then the simplicity of other tech confuses them.
I agree with you, actually.
Well, yeah, because I'll be honest with you. Like when I first jumped in like 2 weeks ago, I immediately got a listing, which is great, right? But it was like listing contract on a property. And I'm like, oh my God. So now I have to actually go step by step. And after I did it, I'm like, this is so simple. It really is, right? Like I had taught it, but doing it was so different.
Checklists and the client updates. Like, are you kidding me that you're not using them?
Yeah.
They're amazing. Well, that was the thing that Brivity had that was really the big value proposition. And I had a bunch of teams in my market that they were like, hey, we're waiting for client update emails. And as soon as it came out, they're like, okay, we're jumping in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun. So where are you getting your business from? Because you said you moved there and you got a luxury listing. Like, how did you do that?
So I have always really followed that model of sphere of influence, because all my business before I became in leadership was all referral business. I never did Facebook ads. I never did direct mail or I didn't even know what, I'm gonna be really like transparent. I had no idea what circle prospecting was until I joined Keller Williams. So I was like, what is this?
Carly, you're not alone. There are people that join after 20, 30 years in the business. Andrew Bloom said, good morning. It's like, he's so vulnerable about it. He's like, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
And people, I didn't know a lot of things. Like, I didn't know what CRM meant. I swear to God.
Right. I was paying for two. I was paying for a contactually and top producer, not using either one of them. I was still using like my phone and Outlook. And that's why I joke, because I'm like, there's so many. I love doing when I was a team leader, I love doing the tech consultation with agents, because to figure out, right, like what they were spending money on. And I was one of those guys. Like, I had a subscription for every single thing you could possibly have one, and I didn't use them. Like,
you had like 100 different $10 a month subscriptions.
Hello, me too. I mean, every time there's new tech, like Nick told me about this video editing software, and I'm like, oh, I need it.
Well, that one's easy because it's only $100, and
free. TikTok's free. That has pretty good video editing.
But for what we're doing,
we can't all be as good as you on TikTok, Caryn.
I don't
need to make a video longer than a minute.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do when I have you. So what is your so you're teaching the business plan, which, by the way, I taught it last week in Boston, online.
Yeah.
It's so well written. The rewrite is so good.
Yep.
And are you doing the short or the long?
I'm going to do the short, because it's only I'm doing about an hour and a half, and then I'm going to follow it up with another workshop to do like GPS and 411 off of that, just kind of introduce it. It was funny. My coach and other people were like, okay, when you get to your new market center, don't get into teaching and helping. Like, you need to build your business. And I said, I have to do a little bit. Right. So I've committed to teaching at least once a month in the market center, just to give back, and also I want to stay in that mindset of teaching and helping. Right. So that's a hard, I'd love to ask you guys, that's a hard switch. Like, when you have done that for so long, like a leadership role, and then you're not in it, like, to flip that off.
I don't know that it ever leaves your heart. One, being a team leader. Like, Nick, when you agree, like, it never really leaves you.
Well, that's true. I mean, now I'm a regional technology trainer, so I'm teaching all the time. But like, yeah, I just love the teaching aspect of it. You know what I mean? Because I just like to hear that when agents are actually implementing stuff, that it's working, and that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine, like, someday when I retire from the team leader role, that I wouldn't still teach or want to be involved that way, because it's part of your DNA. It becomes who you are too, is that,
right.
And those who learn, like teaching the business planning clinic. And I love it because it goes back to the fundamentals, and it's just simple, and it's not difficult. And there's spreadsheets that match with everything to do all your, I like to do it by hand still. I like people to understand the numbers, the economic model especially. And so I do like to do it by hand. But the new rewrites and seeing those updates is crucial, I think. Yeah, so I think it's good. Listen, you just ask me like what's going on, and then Carly, I'll just tell you in the team leader world. We can then have
right.
So Carly, what's the business look like now, since you got into this new market and you're leveraging command? Right, Caryn tells me you're doing a lot of Facebook stuff.
I am. When I moved here originally back in 2013, I came from Los Angeles, and that's when I switched over to real estate. Just so you know, I always joke and say I did 15 years of hard labor in the mortgage industry before I went into real estate.
Right.
And loved it, but I hit like wall burnout in 2014 and just wanted to change. So that's when I switched over to real estate. So when I had migrated out here from Los Angeles, and a lot of people were doing boosted Facebook ads out there. Well, when I moved here, no one was. So that's how I actually built my business and really my brand when I moved here, back in 14, because I didn't know anybody. I was new to the area, new to real estate, and I was from Los Angeles living in small town Georgia. So I had a lot of brand and business awareness I had to build. So I'm kind of doing it the same way this time, but using the Facebook ads to be able to, one, just generate more leads. And I've got to work on my database, getting that number up. It's small. Yeah. Because my database that I've been building has not been, buyer seller base. So I'm working on that. And it's just the response that I'm getting from the ads is phenomenal. So right now I'm just really trying to tweak those smart plans to get the perfect one. And that library is like mind blowing. You can get lost in there.
And actually so your husband is he's retired military. What branch was he in?
He was Coast Guard 24 years.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, it is, it's pretty cool because this Veterans Day is on Wednesday, right? So Kendra, I just posted all the graphics today for Veterans Day. You could
really?
Yeah, you can do a Facebook campaign with that post, being a military, being a wife and a spouse of a retired person who served, and then you could put a smart plan in this week.
Yeah. There's so much opportunity in there, and I just saw those graphics when I went in there the other day.
We just put them in designs. I'm going to check real quick.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So I was excited to see them up there.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, all the Veterans Day, all the giving stuff. Wow.
I know. You know what? I'm excited because I didn't get them on the day of. Like, they literally had them up there. So I'm like, yay. I got married on Veterans Day. Aww. So it's my anniversary.
These are nice.
What'd you say?
I said they're nice. They did a good job.
Yeah, they did a really good job. Yeah,
they're very
smart plan library. Like you were at Berkshire before. I was at a Prudential office years ago, which became Berkshire. But it's shocking when people see all the sharing that goes on in those smart plans and stuff. I'm like, no, this is for real. Like, what people say, Carly, and I'm wondering if you felt this way when you came 3 years ago. So one, I'm really grateful you're part of our company, and two, they're like, well, when do you guys start getting mean? Or when does the real show? We're like,
when do you start getting mean?
Yeah, like this is who we are all the time.
Well, and I tell people this story all the time. I mean, I will say this, I had an amazing office when I was with Berkshire as far as the people, right?
Yeah.
The people were the best. Still great friends with all of the people in leadership there. What I was finding is I had read the Red Book about 3 times and I couldn't get it to work.
Right.
Yeah. And I was just like, what am I doing wrong? I'm a pretty smart person. Like I should be able to make this happen. Right.
I had to read it double. So just so you know.
Well, and I've read it now probably another 2 or 3 times since I've been, with Keller Williams. But you just don't realize that how much more, intentional those models can be when you're in the right environment. Yeah. And I've brought some megas into Keller Williams who said the same thing. They were like, that Red Book sits on the corner of my desk. I've read it a bunch of times. So I think it's just being in that right culture. And you're right. Like sometimes I think when people come into our world, they're overwhelmed by the amount of sharing we do.
I agree. They're like, wait, why would you give someone that's your competition? I'm like, no, that's my colleague first.
Right.
That's my cooperating broker. Those things where we're supposed to work together to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Together, everyone achieves more. Okay. So what does your morning look like? So tell me, because living on both coasts and different time zones, that would stress me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie. That time change last week kicked my butt. I don't know why this year fell. I was tired, very tired last week.
We got more sleep. We got an extra hour.
Yeah, I found myself like feeling like it was ready to go to bed at like 7:30. I'd look down at my phone. I'm like, what's going on? I'm not that old yet. So, I am really working on keeping to my time blocks, right? Like as a team leader, you have to live by that. Like you live and die by your calendar. And I am following that. Like I'm doing my lead generation first thing in the morning so I can get it out of the way. And then right now, if I don't have appointments, I'm just getting out and reconnecting with people, doing all those fun little realtor things, right? Pop buys, networking coffee.
Oh, the freedom.
The fun stuff.
Team leadering is tough. And my husband would always say, listen, if you would just use how you tenlock as a team leader and sell real estate, you'd be a millionaire. I'm like, I know.
Gosh.
Doesn't give me passion.
You know what I used to love, Carly? When I was a realtor, I used to love doing Popeyes and stuffing like 7,000 bags full of popcorn, saying, "I'm your local realtor, just popping by."
Just popping by. Yeah. Listen, I ordered some very, like, I had to ask someone, I'm like, is this corny? And they're like, no. So I don't know if I got the
Well,
truth.
that's another good one.
But
Hey,
I actually think the cornier, the better.
I'm
Oh,
popping by.
I'm going to post this. This is from one of our own. Now she's a leader with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She'd be like, when are you guys turning on me?
Wait, is there a secret cult somewhere? Oh wait, we are the secret cult. But is there like a secret door to like some dungeon where this
She would.
not real?
Yeah. And she's been like actually one of the best stories I've ever been able to watch. So it's
Well, Julie, if the show hasn't ended after 4 years, they must be exhausted. Like one day you're gonna get so tired, like, you know what? Oh my gosh.
she's an amazing productivity and launch coach with us in multiple market centers now.
No, but it really is true. Like you once in a while you'll hear, like for being a team leader and just from being with the company for like 12 years, when I see agents leave, if I see someone on Facebook who used to be with KW and they made a switch, I'll reach out to them and find out what the reason was. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, it's local leadership.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
They don't leave because they don't like the company. And a lot of them, they go, I love the company. It's just like, my local leadership wasn't the culture that I see in other market centers, and there's no other KW in my area. And that's really, really unfortunate,
No, and I do believe that. I mean, I people say it, but I put a lot of weight into it. People leave the leader. They don't leave an organization. They leave the leader. And it is a humbling experience to be a leader of a market center. I
love everyone too that thinks they can do the job. I'm like, you have to have the thickest skin.
Oh my gosh. You have no idea. 6 months into being a team leader, I called my team leader in New Jersey. I was in Michigan. 6 months into being a team leader, I called my New Jersey team leader and apologized.
Well, and I'm trying to be extra special nice to my team leader here because I know, that she has her work cut out for her and she's in like growth mode. And so I'm like trying to be as helpful as I can, but also making sure like I stay in my lane, because I'm a very high I and my D is right below it. So I lead with my I.
Yeah.
But I can bulldoze over people fairly easy. I'm just so nice about it that you didn't know it happened. So
it's like Mo Anderson, like with a smile, like I will slay you with a smile, but that's what makes it fun too. Then isn't it kind of fun though, then to sit back and watch it all happen too and be a part of that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I believe that, you can be that person who also rallies other people in the market center, right? Like that rallies people to step up and be able to give back or teach a class or, do something culture driven. Because I do agree with you. That culture piece is what keeps people planted. It really does. So
by the way, so Lynn Madela, who's watching, you can't see her on stream here because you're on Facebook. Lynn Madela, I was a team leader of KW Premier in Clarkston, Michigan. Lynn's a team leader of KW First in Grand Blanc. We had the same OP. We were only 20 minutes away. So she and I worked a lot together. So she's like, Nick, you are just making my money. Like talking about the TL role and how every agent in your market center thinks they can do it. And by the way, it's not an insult to them.
Right.
It's just they have no idea what to do. Right? And that's not their fault and they're not bad people for it. It's just one of the most selfless positions in the company, really.
It is. And it really is true when they talk about you're that little doc, right? With your feet just going a million miles an hour and you look so awesome and you make it look so easy, Yeah. And I think that is really what has always drawn me to Caryn. Like I kind of stalked her. I think it was at a family reunion or a mega camp, and you were on that panel that Jason Abrams did. Remember, it was you, Jessica, and
Melanie. And Jennifer.
Good one.
Jennifer Reeder, Toomer, Hay, Smith, Jones. Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't get the last name. I knew it was Melanie. So, but that's what I love about her, because I was still, baby team leader. I think you're a baby team leader, honestly, until about 5 years. I'm gonna be
at least 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So at least 2. And then you really feel confident in that you're not going to get fired probably by 5. Right. So like, you're always like questioning yourself. But I loved how honest she was. She didn't paint it to be this like glorious unicorns and rainbows every single day, and I think that there's a lot of value in that for team leaders to have that transparency and being able to be vulnerable and lean on other team leaders without worrying about being judged or whatever. So I appreciate you for that platform.
Well, I learned that from being an agent too, by recognizing where I have a lot of gaps and where I needed help, and that there was always a support team there to help me as an agent and say, don't worry, have you tried this? I mean, it is just who we are in general, because if there's an agent that has a challenge, there is no less than 4 to 5 people that will step up and say, let me help you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I used to teach this class. I'll have to pull it out of the archives, but it was called the 15 do's and don'ts of being a great agent. And when I would teach the class, I would say, okay, the reason I'm teaching you these is that I did all 15.
Oh my God. I mean, if there wasn't a transaction I didn't screw up as an agent, probably why I was a terrible agent. But I mean, I would forget this, I would forget that, I wouldn't do this. Oh God. Yeah. So it's like, but that there again, that's why I love the environment and the culture that we have of Keller Williams, because it allows you to be transparent and vulnerable like that. And we love each other more for it. Like I said, I should just, I'll get off my soapbox on that. However, Nick, I wanted to show you this. Okay. So I don't know if you can see it, but I just ordered these for my Thanksgiving thing. What do they say?
Are those carving blocks?
Yeah, it says, I'll always carve out time for you and your referrals.
Oh.
So I'm putting this on my pop by.
But what is it though? Is it like they're
like little note cards. I ordered them
on
note
cards. I couldn't tell from here.
Yeah, they're like little gift tags.
That's so cute. Are you gonna do anything?
Yeah, I couldn't do these myself, so I'd rather pay for it. So
that's you, me, like my tags for our EDP gives. Like, look at these tags.
Oh, those are nice. Oh, I really like that.
Yeah. We're collecting for the food pantries. We're going to all the listings, and while they're going to move, we take the food that they don't want, these foods.
That's
and
amazing.
Deliver it to the pantry.
Yeah, we were just looking at doing that in our neighborhood that we're in. I'm in this new awesome gated neighborhood. It's like it has a golf course, although I don't play golf, but it has a clubhouse, and so I do drink champagne. So I go there.
We're coming. And then Julie Oswald in our office, the coach I just spoke about, she would like you to teach those 15 things in our market centers. Would you would you Zoom and teach
Absolutely.
it?
Yeah, I'll send you the list so you can see what they are. I'm sure they all apply in your market, just like our market. I used to teach it in Florida and Georgia. So
yeah.
We should create a class for our agents called "So You Want to Be a Team Leader," and then we tell them everything we have to do. And they're like, "Oh yeah." Mm-hmm.
Carly, when you cross over the Florida Georgia line, is there a certain song you sing?
Ooh, Florida Georgia line.
Is there what?
A certain song you sing from Florida?
Oh, of course. You always have to sing that song. It's
Cruise is my favorite. So.
I was going to say, and so do you know what's funny about that song? My son's name is Cruz, C-R-U-Z.
Oh, really?
And so when that song came out, every girl in high school sang it to him every time they walked past him in the hall. So he loves that song.
Wait, hold on. You have a son in high school?
Oh, no, I have a son who's 28. I have a 19-year-old.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I told you that.
So you have a son who's 28?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be married 30 years in April.
Do you moisturize?
I have my filter on.
I mean, Caryn's going to get BOTOX. Maybe that's... You look like you're 29.
Thank you. Zoom is so much kinder to me, I think, than in
No,
person.
I have tears. I literally thought you were 32.
No. So little history on me.
For the record, I thought you were 29.
Yeah, I'll give you a little history. It'll make more sense. So
you adopted a 17-year-old at 20.
No. So I left home at 16 and went out on my own. And that's where I met my husband. I had to lie. I can say this now, probably statute of limitations is gone, but I had to lie to get a job. I had to lie to get a job at the Pizza Inn serving beer and wine and pizza. And that's where I met my husband. Yeah. And I
didn't meet your husband though. There, I didn't meet your husband.
Yeah. But yeah, I was a pretty good pizza waitress, by the way. Yeah, very good. So that's where I met him. And then we got married, and I was 17 when I got married, and he was 20. And then we had our son the following year. And so we've been together 30 years. We'll be married 30 years in April.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, you grew up together essentially then.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard work. Like my stepdaughter got married at 19 or 20. She's 7 years later. She's, still married and they're doing well. And I just think, they're really literally growing up together. And as long as you can each support each other at different things. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the early years, it was, being a military spouse and mom and, and then I went back and got my degree later, and then he went back and got his degree later. And it was like we kind of balanced over the years. And so now Morgan is 19. She's at Ole Miss. She's a sophomore, hottie toddy. And then Cruz lives in Jacksonville Beach. So one of the reasons for moving here, we're closer to him. So
you've been married 30 years?
I know that's on my mom used to work for the FBI in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so my husband works for the federal government too. So
okay, yep. So my mom worked for the FBI. My dad was a Hurricane Hunter pilot, and he was based out of Pensacola.
Nice.
So every Saturday, my mom wanted free dinner, so she and her girlfriends would go over to the Officers Club in Pensacola, and that's where she met my dad. And then so that's where they got married.
Yeah, my son actually used to live right around the corner from the FBI building in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
By the way, speaking of Florida Georgia Line, they wrote a song about real estate, right?
No.
It's called Dirt, DIRT. It's all about real estate. It's about putting 10% down with a white picket fence.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that song up. Let me know.
I've never heard the song Dirt. It was a huge hit.
No, that's not why you're participating, because you're like Google GPSing stuff. All right, Carly,
what's the name of that song where they talk about buying a house? And I couldn't remember the name of it.
What does your morning look like?
So this morning or my general morning?
Wait, doesn't Nick look particularly slender in that hoodie?
Well, I
think it's a camouflage.
Yeah,
you're camouflaging I'm camouflaging my fat belly.
Yeah.
Did you put camo on for me because I'm in Georgia? Is that why you did that?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put my trucker hat on too.
Oh, there you go.
Well, Caryn, thanks for noticing. I have been working out for like 6 months straight.
I know.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, it's got the logo on it.
I haven't gotten that. My head.
I know, because yours is right here. I have to mail it.
So this particular morning, I am breaking a little bit of my lead gen to do this amazing call with you guys. So I'm doing my lead follow up with all of these Facebook, leads that are coming in. I'm making my phone calls and getting right back into that. And then
you erase it, replace it.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely,
No, so if we are eating into that, you've erased it. Now you need to replace it.
I know. She just acknowledged.
No, I was just saying, if you erase it, replace it. Because a lot of agents do, I didn't have time, so do it later. Okay, sorry.
No. So really lead follow up. I'm doing my little handwritten notes that I love to do. I am doing a class this afternoon. I'm still trying to put at least an hour a day for learning in my schedule, because there's just things that I'm having to get, reacclimated to from like the agent side. Yeah. And of course we have a brand new MLS, which is different than what I used before. And so, learning that and making sure I can open lock boxes when I go to houses and things like that.
That's true. You got to learn how to do that. You got to start over.
Yeah. And I
books are you reading right now?
Which one?
What books are you reading?
Ooh.
Any?
So Force Multiplier.
Mm-hmm.
That's Adam
Hergenrother.
Yes. The 12-week year.
Yep.
So I just ordered my workbook that goes with that. So I downloaded it with Audible, and then as I got into it, I'm like, no, I need some paper. So I ordered the workbook.
We ordered that for ALC. for our next year's book.
Yeah, I've heard amazing things about it. And then there's one other one that was recommended to me. Is it Tethered Soul?
Oh, The Untethered Soul.
Untethered Soul.
Yeah.
So that was one that I just downloaded. I'm a big Audible. I'll be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I've never been a reader. And the only way I can keep up with my books is by Audible. And then if there's one where I need paper, I'll order the book.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'll do.
I have
You know what I'm reading?
I really want to read it.
Karen, you know what I'm reading?
Blinkist, what?
Down Home Money.
Down Home Money, Mara Oliver. Oh my God.
Down Home Money by Mara Oliver. Hey, I wonder if they have an Audible version of that book.
I found a video yesterday that I made of her. I'm going to have to play it. Carly, do you know what we're talking about? Mara Oliver?
No.
Okay, Mara Oliver is from Denton, Texas, and she's a tab later. That's why I met her. She worked for TAR. She's a big girl. She's out right now in Denton, Texas. And I love her because I've known her for like 10
That's how she talks. And she wrote a book called Down Home Money. Could you imagine if that was on Audible? This is Mara Oliver. I'm reading my book, Down Home Money, for you on Audible.
Oh my God, I love her. She has the greatest voice in the entire world. And so it's funny because I found a video I made of me being her 2 years ago, Nick, and I meant to send it to you last night. Like, it just doesn't ever stop that I act like Myra Oliver.
She's so great. She's another one who looks like she's 29.
She does too.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google her.
She's
Myra Oliver. We just interviewed her last Wednesday because it was that download of her book. Just came out 2 weeks ago. So you got to see it.
HomeRunner.com. Go listen to the book.
Listen, girl, Jessie Newquist just said Myra Oliver's book's coming out. She just recorded it. You can get it on.
I can't wait to be yelled at for 5 hours.
Hey, girl. That's what she does. All right, back to you.
Yeah, that's like look, I love Pat Mancuso. I always felt like he was yelling at me though when I was on a call with him. I'm like, I feel like I've been beat across the brow in a motivational way.
Oh my God, she's amazing. Myra is like the most giving kind love, and she's really smart. So it's pretty cool.
So what are you reading, Miss Caryn?
I'm reading you right now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm reading Down Home Money, which is actually right behind me. Mm-hmm. And because actually it's so logical. Like, Nick, I know you had a call with her too.
No, but I didn't have to call yet because she said, Nick, before we have the call, I want you to read the book. And then when you read the book, then we're going to have to call.
I'm intrigued.
Jessie Newquist is her team leader down in Denton. She knows exactly what we're talking about.
Jesse, I know. I can't wait to get my shirt.
Oh, I got the book right here, Caryn.
I got it right behind me, girl. Look, I got it right here. Carly, you should get it though. Actually, it's pretty amazing.
Oh no, absolutely. I just know it now.
Help. You sound like you really got your stuff together. So unlike Nick and myself,
Yeah, we're a mess.
It's a facade. It's a facade. It is.
I used to call it facade. When I was a kid, I couldn't get it. Oh, here it is. I found it. 20. Here, ready? Are you guys ready? I did it a year ago.
Sure, we're ready. She doesn't know what she sounds like for real, though.
Over here, Keller Williams. Listen, Dick, Texas. I got some big things going on. I need to talk to you about what I got going on. I love you, girl. I love being a realtor in Texas.
By the way, so you got to go on YouTube and find her because you'll be like, wow, that is her.
That was from November 7th, 2019.
I think I remember seeing that now and going, I'm not quite.
Has she been drinking? No,
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
That's weird. Okay.
So I was going to ask you, you mentioned getting all your beauty done before the shutdown. So I've been kind of ramping that up too. Like, I was like, had to put in order of what appointment. So it was like chiropractor, hair, dentist, doctor. Like all those things. Yeah.
It's all this week. I have it all this week. I'm done because I was told that our hospital just shut down elective surgery. So that's why I was like, It's coming. It's coming. We're going to shut this down. We're gonna reduce coronavirus spread. Let's just all go to
order your KW broker mask.
Well, yeah, order your masks, but literally, like, let's just behave for 3 to 4 weeks. Let's really help curb it, and then we
You're
can.
asking for a lot, Caryn.
It depends on where you are in the country. I'm going to be very honest with you. Like, it has been night and day coming from Palm Beach County, Florida, which was
anything coming from Florida is night and day.
Oh, girl.
Michigan.
Coming to Georgia, they're like, coronavirus, what?
Oh, Oklahoma's gotten better. Missouri, no, there's no such thing as coronavirus in Missouri. No, it doesn't exist.
Georgia's like, just put some whiskey on it. You'll be fine.
Rub some dirt on it.
Get you some moonshine.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got here, I was, putting a mask on every time I'd go in a restaurant or go, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy. So
we were doing so well in Michigan, and then they reversed the governor's mask mandate, and then guess what happened?
Yeah. Well, and one of the things about where we wanted to buy when we came here is we wanted to make sure that we had a little bit of room, space. We were in a 2-bedroom condo and on lockdown in a building. And so we bought a house on the water, 0.6 acres. I'll have to send you guys a little picture of the backyard, but I've got painters who are painting the house right now because it needed some love, but it had the space we wanted.
Listen, I have a good friend that has a house on Kiowa Island, and I'm thinking I just need to come there for shutdown.
That is one of the most beautiful places ever.
Except
so
for
you don't want to come to Michigan during the wintertime for shutdown?
No, I actually have no interest. No, not with little children running around that like want to eat and stuff. No, I don't.
You don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I'm.
Well, what's interesting is we have about 90 acres or something in our farm in Oklahoma, and the great people of Keller Williams Green Meadows are building a new office in Shawnee, which is the town next to where I live. So I'm actually going to rent office space in that office because I have terrible internet where I live, and I like to go to work. Going to work is like I have my own home office in my house here in Naperville. That like it's only for my office, and so having a space to work is important, and I'm excited to like at least get some space there too. So
yeah, and I mean, one of the gifts of what we've been able to do is be able to do our jobs remote and still do it at a high level. So like, the limitations of having to be in one spot, in my opinion, has gone away. I mean, like the class I'm going to do tomorrow is the first live class. I'm going to do it live, but I'm also going to live stream it. So that'll be my first in-person one I've done.
We are weary about live streaming and in person because it is hard to do both. So we're like recording it and then showing it a few days later because you can't answer. Like if you're in live stream, our rule is you can't ask questions because it's too hard. We have to acknowledge the people that did come in. I mean, it's so challenging. I did when I taught business planning clinic. I was focused for 3.5 hours. I had a PowerPoint. I had my script. I have my instructor guide. Like I have 3 computers. Like I have a Mac, so I can have multiple screens anyway. But then I have 2 laptops on either side of me trying to like run this. It's very, very hard.
Yeah. No, I could see that. I've got someone helping me tomorrow, but this will be my first time that I've technically had to do it by myself without having my tech person there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Nick will do it. Okay, listen, I'm going to make a plug too. I'm going to make a plug. Thursday night is our Lady Leaders event.
Yay.
Thursday night. And so we want people to register. Make sure you register, but we're doing it live via Zoom. Rachel and Grace are working really hard on it. So I'm doing a little plug. I'll post the links on my page and inside Command Your Conversion if Nick lets me. All right. Any other words of advice? Because
yeah, fine, sure.
I'm really proud of you for following your heart. You left a very heartfelt message on the Team Leader page. Thank you for being part of KW for sure.
Well, and like I said, my heart was to be close to my family and to be able to kind of take that next step. But I just, I want to just encourage people to look at opportunities, like we were joking about being a team leader, but look at those opportunities. Like there are people that is an amazing role. Don't be fearful of it. And I've heard other people talk about their time during a team leader, what they were able to pull from it and then use it in their own business and other businesses too. Yeah. So it's amazing opportunity. So,
and I just want to say, I mean, I might joke about, the TL role, right? But honestly, like if you want any sort of leadership than being an agent or a team owner within Keller Williams, like you have to be a team leader.
Right.
Not because you wouldn't be considered for other roles, but because for yourself to like get that leadership training, it's a stepping stone.
It is. It's the best. It literally is the best business training I've ever thought I would ever have.
No, I totally agree. Like I've definitely more than anything I got out of my degree that I have, which is in business, by the way. so yeah, I've used way more, and I'm really excited for like other opportunities that'll come down the pipe now that I've
well, I was going to call your leader and ask permission to recruit you. Is that not okay?
No, probably not.
All right, great. All right. Well, listen, Carly, will you come back? Thank you for being such a Keller Williams leader and an example, no matter what role you're in.
All right.
Thanks, Carly.
All right, now, Carly,
Get to know you.
now you got to dance.
Very good to know you. We'll be friends now going forward.
Yeah, you're fine.
Don't quit. It's got no food that blue school.
Okay. I mean, I know these words. It's like the first song, I don't know the words. But now that I know she's not 32, she probably danced this one.
Oh, this is my jam. This is my jam.
Let me clear my throat.
Wednesday, the woman who is responsible for the KPA, Leslie Vandergeist's son.
Oh, Leslie Vandergeist. I want her to go over my KPA.
Oh yeah,
I want her to
dated your KPA. It'd be better than
Bye.
color.
Bye.